But in those days, there weren't a whole lot of people passing out tracts. And so she just passed out one, and he took it. And his buddies go, yeah. And he threw it in the trash. And he kept his, he put it in his pocket, and later on, began to read the tract. And it reminded him of when he was a kid. And all those years ago, when the Sunday school teacher told him about Jesus. And he said that little old lady who gave him that tract changed his life that day. And he became one of the biggest evangelists ever. If you don't know anything about Billy Sunday, he was Billy Graham before there was a Billy Graham. In fact, if you read any of Billy Graham's books, you'll begin to realize something, and that is that Billy Sunday was Billy Graham's mentor. So he was the guy that inspired him, but not only that, taught him how to do what he did. And we've all heard of Billy Graham, right? You want to know where Billy Graham got a lot of what he did? From that little old lady who passed out a tract on the corner. You don't know the effect that you have. You don't know the ripple effect that you have. Even if it's just one kid that you serve in the name of Jesus Christ, you don't know what that's going to do. I was a pastor in Boston. While I was a pastor in Boston, I better close this down. While I was a pastor in Boston, it was not an easy ministry, very Catholic town. The people were nice there in the church, but outreach was very, very hard. We had a bunch of kids that kept coming to the church, college kids that would come there. And they began to get involved in ministry in the church, and we got a coffee house going. We had 200 kids in the basement of our church, but we barely had 40 people upstairs on Sunday morning. And then we just kept filling up that thing, and these kids began to work. And now I look at it, and 2 of them are missionaries. And their spouses, whom they met during all these ministries. And some of them are working in foreign countries doing other things, and 2 of them are pastors. And one of them is a youth pastor. No, 2 of them are youth pastors. So just in that 4 years that I was in Boston, we're talking 2 missionaries, 2 pastors, and 2 youth pastors out of that ministry. Ripple effect. How many people will be affected by what they do? Do you realize that something that you do tomorrow could affect 1,000, 10,000 people? Because you do it in the name of Jesus and someone's life is transformed. I want to live for Jesus. I want to make a difference. See, Paul knew that while it was his goal to be with Christ, living for Jesus was so important. So, what's your motto? How well are we living the motto that we ought to have? I think for the most part, I think that Christians look at life too often as one great big airport. You ever been to an airport waiting area? Who's never been to one? I'll describe it. Okay. In an airport waiting area, everyone's sitting around, checking their phones. But before they had the phones, it was even worse. Just sitting around, doing nothing. Not talking to anybody, and they're just waiting to go. You know, as Christians, we have to be careful. That's not how we live our Christian life. Just waiting to go. Especially if we're older Christians. I'm just waiting until the Lord comes back and takes me home. Don't do that. Live for Jesus. Live for Jesus. You say, I think the easiest way to say it is this. If you're still here, He's got work for you to do. Period.
That's right.
I like visiting Martha sometimes. Martha, she's going to read and find out I'm talking about her. But we talk about things that she'll talk to me about things that she's doing, but oftentimes she'll tell me about things that she's doing in order to serve the Lord and encourage her kids and grandkids, but also people in the church. And I read these kinds of things and hear about these kinds of things from her, and I realize something. Martha is in her 80s, well into her 80s, and she hasn't stopped ministering.
Amen.
We never stop being a minister. Every single Christian who has Jesus in their heart is a missionary. Every single person who doesn't is a mission field. I want to live for Christ. I want to reach out and to love my neighbor and to share his love. I want to give a big pink cupcake, whatever, a snowball, to somebody and say, I just want to encourage you today. And if you're afraid to testify too much, just hit them with a snowball. And they're going to look at it and they're going to go, what's this from? Oh, church. Church Nazarene wants to encourage. Cool. That's all you got to do. You don't have to even say anything. Leave it on their desk. They'll go, did you leave this on my desk? Thanks. Tell me that's hard. Now, if you eat it, go buy another one and do it. All right? Fair enough? Especially if you put it on top of the refrigerator for the next 6 months. Then go ahead and get another one. Just use the card. If you're looking for a motto in your life, how about adopting Paul? So what was Paul's motto for his life? I want to live with Christ. I want to live for Christ. That two-part motto. Let that motto become a part of your life. Because I have to tell you, if that's not at least implied in your life's motto, I want to live with Christ, I want to live for Christ, then your life, both now and in the hereafter, will be a big disappointment. Lord, help us to remember this.